What is life? It is something that you have to create. Nobody is going to make it for you. Before going on, I will give you little insights into armed forces before going on to the process. What the armed forces have been doing for you all. Commander Roy showed what the army is doing, but what has it done for the nation? It is doing much more than what you all can dream of. So, as youngsters, you have to be successful, and remember, you will only succeed if you fail. So failure is not the ultimate thing. And before you all can become leaders, because leaders are not just born, they are made like me and Commander Roy, even Sarveshi, who have been leading men. And remember, in the armed forces, in the police, you are not on a cricket field, neither are you Davantu or Dhurandhar. You are leading men to death. And these men who are following you, they know that they are ready to die because their captains are, their majors are, like Vikram Batra. Suna hai naam uska? Dil mange more. They have been leading from the front, like you youngsters have to lead. And leaders can be made. It is not like that Napoleon ki tarah, Hitler ki tarah paida ho gaye the. So for that, you need to have some life skills in you. And these life skills are your knowledge, your attitude to life. And those have to be channelized into the correct things. And if those life skills are good, you can crack any interview. Corporate to छोड़ो, service selection board वाला भी सुना है service selection board के बारे में? Yes, sir. Yes, I will be talking about it in the next 5-10 minutes. So, if you have these life skills like decision making, anger management, time management, and so on, what is given on the view file here, you will grow ahead and ahead. But सबसे ऊपर जो आपका लाइफ स्किल होना चाहिए वो है कैरेक्टर, आपका जुनून, आपका वजूद. बिकॉज वो नहीं है तो खोखले इंसान हो आप. You can't grow if you don't have moral courage. You can lie to me, you can lie to sir, you can lie to your friends. You can't lie to yourself. ये रब से झूठ नहीं बोल सकते हैं. कथा पर्चा आपका सब सामने आ जाएगा. So, for your character to be strong, your 5 pillars are your self-esteem, self-respect, integrity, loyalty to the nation, to the organization, to your family, to yourself, to your friends, honesty and discipline. Listen to what Swami Vivekananda had to say about character.
Swami Vivekananda कहते थे, Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain, but the training by which your character is built. और यही उनके पूरे फिलॉसफी का एसेंस था. उनके लिए इंटेलिजेंस इंपॉर्टेंट था, लेकिन कैरेक्टर उससे कई गुना ज्यादा वैल्यूएबल था. वो कहते थे, We want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. मतलब विवेकानंद के लिए इंटेलिजेंस एक टूल था, लेकिन कैरेक्टर एक फाउंडेशन.
Swami Vivekananda spoke about character, and for him intelligence is secondary. Character is the foundation of the complete thing that you have. And if you have the things in you, then you can lead. Your quality of life will be good, and you can lead from the front, set an example. That is how leaders do it. AC office में बैठ के काम नहीं करते हैं. And in the armed forces, we don't sit in AC offices. You are on the ground. You have to be a professional soldier.
आंधी है, मैं भी तो तैयार हूँ। सबसे बड़ी ये जंग है, तो मैं भी तैयार हूँ। आगाज हूँ मैं, उम्मीद हूँ मैं, हर हार जीतेंगे। मैं हूँ वो आग जो कभी बुझे ना। मैं हूँ वो रफ्तार जो कभी रुके ना। मैं ऊंचाई कोई छू सके ना। मैं हूँ जब तक मैं जिंदा हूँ। आँखों में सूरज है, हिम्मत हूँ, धूप हूँ। मैं इशारा दूँ तो आसमां ज़मीं चलने लगे, रुकने लगे। रोशनी के घर पे ये अंधेरे चेहरे क्या लगाएंगे पहरे। मैं
I am sorry, there was a video here also, but videos are not playing due to some reason. Anyway, then going on to the logo. ये logo आप लोग पहचानते हैं? Yes. Anybody can say ये logos किसके हैं? Accenture का है या Price Water का है? These are the logo of the Army, Navy and the Air Force, and that is the combined logo of the Indian Armed Forces. So, when we talk about security forces, let us demarcate a little. Nowadays that term has come in security forces. In that you have the paramilitary, the Central Armed Police and the military forces. And here we are talking about the military forces. I will just run through the core values of the armed forces. That is the Naam, Namak and Nishan. That means the name of the country stands first. The name of the regiment.
सूरज की तरह सर चढ़ते हैं हम, पर्वत को गिरा के बढ़ते हैं हम। चट्टान से जोड़े सीनों में तूफान उठाना है जोश में सरफरोश लड़ जाना। जैन साहब, जैन। बढ़ते चलो, बढ़ते चलो, बढ़ते चलो, रुकना नहीं, झुकना नहीं, बढ़ते चलो।
In that the war cries of the different regiments are there. And that is what you shout when you go in for battle, because that makes the blood, your adrenaline run high. And that is how you can have the Pakistanis by their neck. There was a video on Ops Sindoor also, and your courage and your honor. Nishan here is not the aim, but your courage and the honor. That is what you are standing for. When you stand in uniform, like you all are putting on the uniform of the colleges, you are representing, like you are doing for your college, there you are representing your country. And nothing for anybody comes देश से पहले, because the welfare of the nation comes first, then comes the welfare of your men, and my welfare comes, the last. So that is the sequence in which an armed forces officer thinks. And when everybody fails, it is the Indian armed forces which come into play, because they are the last bastion. Last bastion means the last pillar. जब administration, everybody has failed, they call in the army, and the armed forces or the army does route marches, and the people then understand that things are out of control, we better come back. And other than that also, why not Chennai floods? Anybody stuck up in a drill hole? You must have heard there was a collapse of a tunnel. Then there were other calamities in avalanches in high altitude areas. Even to an ungrateful country like Turkey, the Indian Air Force sent relief in millions. COVID, the armed forces men, the security forces men were working out of time to reach out to people with medicine, with oxygen. The hospitals were created in the northeast. In J&K, you have something called the Ops Sadbhavna, in which we are reaching out to the people without any bias towards caste, creed or religion. So that is what the armed forces is. एक चीज याद रखो, अगर आर्म फोर्सेस ज्वाइन करना है, there is no reservation, no SC, ST, OBC. Everybody is a general category and वो अपने काबिलियत के लिए ही जाना जाएगा, and if he wants to join, reservation मत भूलिएगा उसमें. And then everywhere people are reaching out to help everybody. And the armed forces, like I said, is the last bastion. Then one more little thing I want to tell you. Peacekeeping operations के बारे में सुना है? Peacekeeping operations. These are the operations in different countries. The armed forces, the police, they go as part of the United Nations forces. And you will all be proud to know that the Indian Army has given out nearly about 5 lakh soldiers at all ranks to the different UN peacekeepers. And we are the country with the maximum number of peacekeeping contingents. The list is endless. I have just given it in 2007 because I did not want to waste time. And abhi bhi, there are about 13 contingents in 13 nations. So that is what. And in today's world, technology is one of the main things. And you engineers, yaad rakho, even in NDA, you have to get your BTech done. So that is the minimum qualification. And you all can join the army in different modes, different regiments, different arms, different services. A little about the history. We are the 4th largest army in the world. The Indian Air Force is also the 4th largest, and the Navy is a multifarous Navy, though we are not ranking in any of the first 3, but it is one of the most advanced naval forces that we have, which can put any country to shame. And we are making our own frigates and destroyers in our own dockyards like Garden Reach, Mazagong and others. And then I'll just run through, I will not talk about, these are the wars. This is when in the past, then you have the various wars over the years before independence. World War II, again the British Indian Army was serving the Britishers in Africa, in Japan, and you must have all heard about the Battle of Kohima. And then coming on to Korean War, the Terra campaign, the list is endless. After independence, election of Tibet, 48, Hyderabad, which was becoming a rogue state, was brought in control with Vallabhbhai Patel's orders. The armed forces went in and brought them into place. Even 48, the Indo-Kashmir War, that was the first war with the Pakistanis. Then you had again another rogue state, the Dadar Haveli, which were anti-India, which came into being. 61 in Goa, the Portuguese were thrown out, and that was the last crop of people who were thrown out. And then election of Sikkim. And uske baad, we had the Indian peacekeeping force in Sri Lanka. Here are some of the photographs. And finally, we had the Maldives coup, which was controlled by the Indian Navy and the Air Force and the Army. And with Pakistan, you know, we had many wars and we have bashed them. And this photograph is a very famous photograph where we bashed Pakistan and Bangladesh was created. And you'll be proud to know 93,000 Pakistanis surrendered, and that was the biggest surrender after the World War II by any standing army to any other armed forces. Kargil, again, debacle for Pakistan. They did not know what hit them, that they did not even want to take their men back. Now, I will talk about something that you all are interested. ये रैंक्स आपने देखे होंगे अपने shoulders पे. Would you like to see these ranks on your shoulders? These are the various ranks of the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force. And before I conclude, I will now just give you a gist of what all are the entries. You have the entry after the 12th, that is the National Defence Academy, of which me and sir are cadets and we have passed out. Then you have the technical entry scheme and then the BTech entry scheme of the Navy. These will not interest you because you all are going to be engineering graduates. These are the ones in which you will be interested. The Combined Defence Services, which is conducted by the UPSC. And this gives you entry to the Indian Military Academy, the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy after your engineering. You have to pass a UPSC examination which will encompass your subjects. And English and mathematics are two of them which will assist you. Then you have the AFCAT for the Air Force, the Technical Graduate Course. This is a permanent commission course and you will be picked for that. There will be people coming from the recruitment boards coming for interviews and they will select you based on your marks, and after all this exams, that is the written exams are passed, you will be undergoing something called the Service Selection Board, that is the SSB. Then you have the SSC Tech. This is a short service commission in which you will either do 5 years, extendable to 10 or 14 years, and if you don't get a permanent commission, you will be given to leave the armed forces but with certain benefits and perks. So that is what the SSC were about. Then people who are in the NCC, the National Cadet Corps, can also join, but after passing the C certificate, the A, B and C certificate. And otherwise, there are other entries also into the Army Dental Corps, the Army Medical Corps, the JAG branch, the lawyers who are there. Then finally, still, जो देशभक्त बाकी रह जाते हैं, maybe they don't pass the SSB, they can join later on into the territorial army. Territorial army is also again where you give your service to the nation. You have to serve for some time every year to keep your commission alive. Now this service selection board is supposed to be one of the toughest in the world, tougher than any interview. This is a 5 days interview process where you are checked physically, mentally and psychologically. Psychological tests like the word appreciation, picture, thematic appreciation. Interviews are held, group discussions on your knowledges are held. So these are the tests over 5 days that go on till you are either sent back or selected. And remember, even boys and girls who are not selected for SSB, the corporate still takes them if they have qualified the 5 days. So that is what the SSB is. And remember, this is one of the toughest. Anybody interested in joining can contact us. We can help them in whatever little way that we can. Then for the men, you all would have heard about the Agniveer scheme. That is also not so easy, and that 25% which was to stay back is now being increased to 50%. They also have physical tests, and before that they have to pass a written test. So there also, as men, not as officers, they are the best which are being selected. That is why when these Agniveers retire, the police or the other CAPFs or paramilitary are ready to just take them because they have got a training of 5 years beneath their belt. And what are the job securities? This is not like a corporate, my dears, that if I don't like your face, I give you 1 month notice and throw you out. There is a system in place which is very transparent. And remember one thing, I am standing before you. I joined as a class 12th, and today I have done my MTech, MBA, and I'm a doctorate in international studies. Other than being a professional soldier, all badaulat Fauj. So that is what makes you from boys to men. Remember, there was a few videos which I will try to just play after this. For this, if you want to see the details, go on to joinindianarmy.nic.in or joinindiannavy.nic.in or Join Indian Air Force. These are the 3 sites which you can see. And the lifestyle that you have, other than the professionalism, is great. I am telling you, सबने सोचा होगा कि फौज में सिर्फ मस्ती है other than professional. Yes, the quality of life is one of the best. You have a lifelong guarantee which no service on this earth can give you. Even if you become disabled, the armed forces still look after you because we are a family and we stand by each other. I am telling you, well, sir will also agree, we still, even after retirement, have course get-togethers and other such events, not just for the heck of it, because we know each other's family thoroughly. So that is what it is, a big family. And finally, you have to have it in you, tabhi jaake you can join the armed forces. It is not haath khada kar diya, sir, I want to join. It has to be from within. And remember one thing, for what the armed forces is doing for you, learn to respect every man from the security forces. Here I will not say only the armed forces, security forces, because they are working 24/7. They are not working 9 to 5. So respect them. When you see a person, you may not salute him, but you can always give way for him to pass through. We try to ape the West in many ways, but there the armed forces is respected. That is what we have to ape, and we must do it from our heart. So that is what, if you want to join a service which is respected and for which you can say at the end of your life that you did something for somebody, and that somebody is the nation, join the armed forces. Thank you.